Hello everyone, my name is Michael SK, and welcome back to the Eden of Grisaia. So in the last episode, Sakaki went and visited an information broker to figure out where Yuji could be located, and really just to get any other information that could help her and the others out with recapturing Yuji. And the information broker was Robbie from Yuji's time in the military. That was interesting. It was good to see him again. So she got some information, and then we learned a little bit about the Thanatos system. And I believe we're going to learn more about that, as that's what this chapter is called that we are in. And we're back at Ichigaya. I assume we are back with Yuji. So let us see what will happen here. With a harsh, unpleasant buzz from a speaker embedded in the ceiling, the cell's featureless door unlocked itself. There was a bit of a little buzz, I guess what you could call that, sounded when I loaded in here. And before I continue on, sorry, I'm still a little sick, but I don't think it's as bad as it was the last time I recorded. If anything, it's just me talking is sort of difficult to do, but I think I'll be okay. Let's get on with it. Yuji had been sitting cross-legged on this bolted-down bed, or on his bolted-down bed, leaning his head against the padded wall as he aimlessly exercised his ocular muscles. But in the moment that door opened, a voice spoke to him, and he opened his eyes. Ah, it's our old pal Adam. The visitor who'd broken Yuji's idle, peaceful isolation was a man who'd previously introduced himself as Adam. As the two of them stared at each other expressionlessly, Yuji slowly uncrossed his legs and slipped his feet into the pile of slippers that he'd left lying on the room's oddly soft floor. What happened to Major Harudera? Oh, I see. He wasn't dejected by the fact that JB hadn't come. A hearing might sound promising, but it meant an informal court-martial to convey decisions that were already made. He'd be given a few questions that he could only answer yes to. Any statement to his part would be meaningless. Whatever the final judgment might be, Yuji wasn't eager for JB to learn of it. To put the matter simply, he was feeling the same relief as a punk kid who managed to avoid having his mom come pick him up from the police custody after some meaningless fight. Without any sign of anxiety or anger, Yuji obediently held out his arms for the handcuffs Adam had produced. There was no way to know what Adam thought of this indifferent behavior, but after a few moments he spoke again. Oh, this guy actually might be nice. For starters, could you take off these handcuffs? Oh, fuck. Will you scratch my ass for me then? I've got an itch down there that's driving me crazy. Well, that's what we're doing. This was hardly the first time Yuji had faced a hearing or received disciplinary measures of some kind. Normally, such meetings were held in the small conference room on the second floor. The two of them boarded an elevator, and Adam retrieved an identification card from his suit. Slipping it into the slot next to the control panel, he proceeded to speak the name Adam Black into a concealed microphone. Having verified its occupant's identity, the elevator began to move, in a manner contrary to Yuji's expectations. Wait, we're going down? Oh. They proceeded down a number of similar corridors, many protected by fingerprint and retina-based identification systems, and rode numerous elevators that took them both up and down. After about 20 minutes of patiently allowing himself to be dragged around by Adam, that's a long time, Yuji couldn't repress the urge to click his tongue irritably. I don't know how far you plan on taking me, but you're certainly being cautious about it. Who's it gonna be? We've heard of the professor a few times. Well, I've heard rumors about them, sure. That effect? Answering half-heartedly, Yuji turned briefly to glance back at the hallway he just walked down. Why don't you blindfold me or something then? True enough. Wouldn't want you falling in love with me. How long are you planning to keep me walking around like this anyway? Directionally speaking, it's in front of us. We're currently walking toward the place I was confined in. Something felt a little odd about that last elevator ride. Unless I'm imagining things, I'm pretty sure the car made a half rotation as it was moving through the shaft. No, fuck. Are you fucking serious? Oh, come on, you can't be serious. Precisely 30 minutes later, having been led around like a dog on a walk, Kazumi Yuji finally found himself standing before an imposingly thick, bomb-resistant metal door. One final time, Adam offered up his keycard, palm, and retina for inspection. With a heavy rumbling sound, the overlapping metal bolts that barred the door withdrew, and its lock was disengaged. Sounded like a fucking, boulder just got moved. Oh shit, this place looks whack. Stumbling into the room at a shove from his commanding officer, Yuji found it unpleasantly cold. There was no hint of the current season in the air. The walls were concrete, painted white and devoid of windows. The room had no furnishings whatsoever. The only objects in the room that really stood out were the enormous monitor embedded in the far wall, and the surveillance cameras positioned in all four corners of the ceiling. Yeah, you can see the one up there in the top left, and then just barely there in the top right. No one's around. Hope she didn't head home after all the time we kept her waiting. With that, Adam walked up behind Yuji and opened a cheap-looking folding chair that he'd apparently produced out of thin air. That's always fun. Only one chair had been prepared. In other words, rather than meeting his interrogator directly... Interrogator? Okay, yeah. Whatever. Yuji would presumably be speaking with them through the monitor in front of him. Sorry, guys. I'm still a little slow since I'm kind of sick. Not that I'm really surprised, but after making him walk in circles for nearly an hour, they weren't even going to meet him face to face. Just how paranoid was this person? Snorting quietly to himself, he dropped into the chair heavily enough to make it groan. In response, the monitor on the wall turned on, and the lights in the ceiling grew dim. Oh, okay, just leaving me by myself. Adam turned on his heel and left the room. A moment later, the heavy door closed itself and a series of gears shifted the metal bolts back into place. The air pressure in the room abruptly changed. Yuji was forced to swallow in order to clear his ears. What exactly is going on here? As his eyes adjusted to the bright white image on the monitor before him, he found himself looking at a number of shutters resembling those of a camera lens. Altogether, there were 10 of them, drilled into what looked like a concrete foundation. The shutters opened, and 10 drum-shaped pillars emerged from the floor, rotating as they rose. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I'm really looking at here. This is really whack. He had no real standard of reference, so it was difficult to tell their exact size, but at a glance, each one of the pillars seemed to be at least 2 meters in height. In the moment that their rise completed, a low metallic thunk reverberated through the room, and Yuji felt the floor vibrate beneath his feet. The room he was looking at might be closer by than he thought. Oh shit, it's the professor! There were presumably speakers hidden somewhere. A woman's voice filled the air, almost as if the room itself was speaking. In the same moment, the 4 cameras in the corner of the room turned their lenses toward Yuji. Ichigaya Special Duty Agent 9029 Kazumi Yuji.
確認しました。
There's a genius locked up in the basement of Ichigaya who controls Japan's national defense. Yuji had heard rumors of the sort before. His company had more than its share of secrets, so there were always plenty of unfounded stories going around, and it wasn't rare for unremarkable truths to be embellished dramatically. Still, can't say I was expecting the professor in the basement to be a machine.
久しぶりね、ユージ。
Ooh. I'm aware you've helped me out of a few close scrapes. That's an odd way to greet someone you're meeting for the first time.
私の声忘れちゃった？
What are you talking about?
まあいいわ。
As the professor let out a resigned little sigh, thin, laser-like beams of light appeared from the four corners of the ceiling. At the point where they intersected and interfered with each other, a three-dimensional image containing phase information took shape.
あれ、違うな。こっちかしら。
Oh shit, boys. Oh fucking shit, boys.
これでどう？
God damn, dude. Kazuki?
そう、風見和樹。あなたのお姉ちゃんよ。
Stop it. This is one ugly joke. Kazuki... My sister died years ago.
そうね。書類上は死んだことになっているわね。じゃあ、私は誰？
It's a lie. Why are you showing me this nonsense? What are you thinking?
相変わらず疑り深い子ね。周りを疑う前に、まずは自分を疑いなさいとあれほど教えたでしょ？まあ、あなたが信じてくれないのも理解できるわ。
Yeah, it's quite unbelievable.
簡単に結論から言ってしまえば、私はあのバス事故の後、あの山の中で生き残ったのよ。詳細な経緯を説明するのは別の機会として、今許された時間で簡単に説明してしまうと、まあ、食べ物をめぐる壮絶な殺し合いの末に次々と人が死んで、結局私も重度の傷を負ったわ。
I mean, her arm was broken, right?
さすがに私ももうダメかしらと思いかけた頃に、天音のおかげで救助が来たのだけれど、私の体はもう手の施しようがなかったのね。で、これは私も知らなかったのだけれど、私たちのお父様はメンサを通じて私の脳みそに保険をかけていたのね。
What?
その保証金額というのが軽く億単位だったということもあって、体を失っても脳だけは存続できないかという計画が立ち上がったわけ。
Okay.
そしてその計画に目をつけたのが日本における超法規的諜報通信網導入計画の発案者で、私の脳はそのまま事故として偽装され、私の頭部を利用したコンピュータの開発に成功。その結果がこうして今現在の私につながるというわけ。理解できた？
Man, that shit doesn't make any sense. But whatever, we'll roll with it. Hold on a second. When did we leave the waking world behind? Did you mix something into my food? Take me back to reality, please. I'd rather dream I was a butterfly.
まあ、こんな説明で納得しろという方が無理よね。でも、生の脳みそを見せてあげるわけにもいかないし、見たところで脳の表面に名前が書いてあるわけでもないし、困ったわね。
If you're really Kazuki, then try to guess what I'm thinking of right now.
それは有機物？それとも無機物？
Inanimate.
それは手に持つことができるもの？
Yes.
プラスチックでできている？
Yes.
話しかけると返事をする？
Nope.
それは電気で動くもの？
Yes.
それで時間がわかる？
No.
それは口に入れるもの？
Yes,
電動歯ブラシ
that's right.
懐かしいわね、この遊び。あなたがもっとずっと幼かった頃、よく二人で遊んだわ。
What, 20 questions? Yeah, I remember. I really wanted to beat you, so I challenged you over and over again. Do you remember what I was thinking of the first time I got you to give up?
はあ、ガスの元栓ね。あれはあなたが私の質問で、それは火をつけるものと聞いたときに、いいえと答えたからわからなかったのよ。
The gas itself is what starts the fire. The valve doesn't.
それはへりくつだわ。
Yeah, you said the same thing at the time. The games that Kazumi's siblings had played as young children weren't recorded in any database, especially given the detailed nature of her memories. It was difficult to suspect that some third party had just created them. Is that really you, Nishan?
疑り深い子ね。だったら何でも質問してみればいいじゃない。
What's your favorite food?
ユージ。
I don't think that's food. What the fuck? Alright, I guess that's enough evidence for me. Alright, I guess it really is you. When they were quite young, for some reason, he could no longer remember. Yuji had asked his sister Kazuki what her favorite food was. Without a moment's hesitation, Kazuki had emphatically, declared Yuji, and then proceeded to kiss him deeply on the mouth. Okay, yeah. Yep, that's Kazuki. At the time, he quivered with genuine fear at the thought that his sister really might eat him. Just remembering this made him want to curl up into a ball of embarrassment. By now, it was growing increasingly difficult for Yuji to doubt that the reality in front of him. He couldn't help but admit that this truly had to be Kazumi Kazuki. My head's starting to hurt.
あら大変。でも大丈夫よ。人類は100年以上も前に頭痛薬の発明に成功しているもの。イブプロフェンにアセトアミノフェン、アセチルサリチル酸にエテンザミド。
Well, I can definitely vouch for those first two. Ibuprofen really saved my ass, not with headaches, but just with my wisdom teeth getting taken out. Ibuprofen is God's gift for sure.
後であなたの部屋に届けさせるから、医学の進歩に感謝しながら、用法用量を守って正しく服用しなさい。
Very thoughtful of you. How had this happened? What was even going on here? The questions swirled through Yuji's mind, but nothing resembling a comprehensible answer came into view. There was one point in particular that made it impossible for him to simply accept the situation he found himself in. If you were alive, and this close by, then why'd you wait so long?
ごめんなさい。でも、分かって、ユージ。私だってこんな姿をあなたには見られたくなかったのよ。私だってもっと早くあなたに会いたかった。私に体があれば、私に力があれば、ヒースオスロの魔の手からもっと早くあなたを救い出せた。いいえ、それ以前にあなたを渡したりはしなかったわ。ごめんなさい、ユージ。遅くなって本当にごめんなさい。いつもあなたのことに気づいてあげられなくてごめん。
Oh shit, damn it. Stop it, Nisha. Simply complaining about the past wouldn't change the present one bit, but if you look toward the future, those complaints can become lessons that help you avoid repeating the same old mistakes. Where do you go from here? What happens next? Under your current circumstances, what's the best course of action? Hold on just a second, would you? I'm starting to get seriously mixed up here.
受け入れなさい。ありのままの現実を。そしてこの私を。
I guess we really don't have a choice right now. That's gonna take some time. Not that I'm bragging, but I've been through a hell of a lot by now. I figured there wasn't much that could rattle me too badly at this point. But my long-dead sister was literally turned into a piece of national defense equipment? This is just too insane.
そうは言っても時間がないのよ。
What do you mean?
これからあなたが何をし、私があなたに何を期待するか。 それを説明するためにあなたをここに呼んだのよ。それを聞く覚悟はある？
Again, I don't really think we have a choice. Say anything you like. I doubt anything could surprise me at this point.
ねえ、ユージ。あなた、この国のために犠牲になってくれない？
Fuck that. This country can go eat my ass. Alright. God damn it, Yuji.
即答ね。というか、怒らないのね。
God fuck! Well, JB did give me a general overview of the situation. I figured it'd be something along these lines. If I was speaking to anyone else, I'd probably be working myself up into a righteous rage at this point. But when it's coming from you, Kazuki, that's different. I won't question any order you give me, much less obey or disobey. What exactly should I do? What exactly can I do? Those are my only questions.
そう。いい子ね、ユージ。
Ah, thanks.
では、時間も限られていることだし、簡単な状況説明から始めましょう。ヒース・オスロが大量殺戮兵器を国内に持ち込んだという話は聞いているわね。
Yeah, I'm not clear exactly what kind of weapons, though.
確証がないから断言はできないけれど、おそらくは核異星体爆弾と呼ばれるものである可能性が高いわね。広い中性子捕獲断面積を持つ繊維金属。つまりは、冷気させたハフニウムに低出力の X 線を照射することでガンマ線崩壊を加速させ、臨界量に制限されないより小型で強力になった夢の新型核兵器ね。まあ、あえてどこの国かは明言をしないけれど、ヒース・オスロの所有する兵器開発企業にこれまでに1000万ドル以上の研究費を投じた国があるの。
More like a major pain in the ass.
あなたも随分とお世話になった国よ。あまり悪く言うものではないわ。彼も喧嘩に勝ち続けるのに必死なのよ。
Anyway, how much of this nasty stuff did Oslo smuggle into Japan?
3000mg。
What? Just 3 grams?
言ったでしょ？強力なのよ。そのたった 3g の爆発規模は半径 50km にも及ぶわ。
Ah, that's quite a distance. So the next generation matchbox bomb everyone always dreamed of has finally been made a reality.
マッチ箱は少し大げさね。クリスマスケーキの箱ぐらいの大きさは必要よ。それに、まだ実験の域を出ていない技術だから、どこまで実用化できているかも多少の疑問があるわね。
He's trying to intimidate the government with a weapon that isn't even finished yet?
噂の威力も兵器の性能ということよ。そんな兵器が完成しているわけがないと無視できるほど無知な国ばかりではないでしょうし、ましてや研究費の大半を負担していた国ともなればなおのことよ。
Let me get to the point. Why did Oslo smuggle this stuff into the country despite all the risks? What's its primary objective?
あなたは今、そのオスロの一番の目的の上に椅子を置いて座っているわ。
He wants this shitty-ass chair? What?
男の目的なんていつも同じ。体目当て。あの男は私が欲しくて仕方がないのよ。
Are you saying?
そう。彼の一番の目的は私。通信傍受型諜報活動網の根幹、タナトスシステムであるということよ。
Is this Sorry. Is this Thanatos system worth that much to him?
タナトスシステムというのは独立した分散管理型ネットワークシステムで、制限のない情報監視網に加え、陸自の DICS、海自の MOF を含む JTIDS の管理運用が可能なのよ。
Yeah, I didn't understand any of that.
世界中の通信傍受はもちろんのこと、あらゆるシステムに侵入が可能。もっと端的に一番わかりやすい例えをすれば、この世のすべての暗号が意味のないものになると言えば理解できる？
I always thought you were a bit on the superhuman side, Nishan. But it seems you've turned into a genuine monster since the last time I saw you.
このことは秘密だから、クラスのお友達に自慢したりしちゃダメよ。
Ah, no worries. Don't want people thinking you're a know-it-all, huh?
何でもできる女だと思われるともっと面倒。実際、噂を聞きつけた王子様が爆弾を片手に力ずくで私を手に入れようとしているの。どうしよう、ユージ。このままじゃお姉ちゃん、テロリストにレイプされちゃうわ。
That's certainly outrageous. I'd love to do something about it, but this seems to be a bit much for me to handle on my own. Why don't you have the government help you out?
それができればあなたを呼んだりなんかしないわ。某英国にしてみれば、私という存在で日本に不必要な情報力を持たれても困るけれど、開発援助という形で日本の情報が現状より細密に得られる。日本にしてみれば英国の情報技術能力、つまりはエシュロンとリンクすることで得られる情報は欲しいけれど、国内の情報をスキャニングされる不安と国防を英国に握られることに不満はある。私がテロリストに奪われるリスクは大きいけれど、英国にしてみれば所詮は他人の財布。すられたところで被害は最小で済むし、日本の詩吟と導入計画は時期尚早とする反対派の口を封じることもできる。一方で日本にしてみても費用的な損失はあるものの、自宅のハードディスクの中身を他人に見られるような不快感から解放されるというメリットがあるという考え方もできる。要はどちらの国にしても奪われても構わないが、奪われたことによる利点が必要ということになるわけね。
Why'd they even create the system in the first place then? Also, if Oslo steals a computer like that and misuses it, financial losses and the international pecking order are going to be the least of anyone's worries.
そこで今話し合われているのが、システムの 20% をオスロに提供するという妥協案ね。要求としては、オスロがタナトスシステムと同時に欲している風見有事を供出する代わりに、20% のシステム供与で同意させる。でも 20% とはいえ、できれば許したくはないというのが本音よ。
Sure, it's like getting pushed down by a rapist and then offering the guy oral if he doesn't take your virginity.
あなた、しばらく会わないうちに随分と下品になったわね。
Oh, I wonder whose fault that was. You're the one who made the analogy first, okay?
まあいいわ。つまりはそういうことよ。いろいろな損得感情のある中で、できうる限りの防御線を張っておきましょうというのがあなたを呼んだ理由。そこであなたにやってもらいたいのが、私をおとりとしたテロリスト壊滅作戦というわけね。オスロが 20% の条件を飲もうと飲まざると、あなたをオスロのもとに送り込んで、オスロを暗殺させようという計画なのだけれど、どうかしら。
I feel like that won't work at all. Another assassination job, huh? You do realize I just failed to kill him the other day, right?
あなたにしても諸悪の根源たるオスロとの決着は悪夢からの決別という意味でも必須だろうし、オスロが未だにあなたをコントロールできると思っていても、今のあなたはもう昔のあなたではないわ。あなたはこれまでに多くの経験を積み、多くの困難を乗り越えてきた。ましてや今のあなたには私がついているのよ。十分に勝ち目はあると戦術師さんが出ているから安心しなさい。
Can't say I'm feeling all that optimistic myself.
あなたにしかできない仕事だし、あなたにしか頼めない仕事なの。お願いよ、ユージ。
Alright, I'm on board.
そう、ありがとうユージ。あなた、昔に比べると本当に変わったわね。
Nah, we just grew up and went to a school that is literally just full of females. And just, there's only 6 students there. We've only had like some crazy adventures here and there. And some government work, but yeah, nothing's really changed about Yuji. All is the same. My master used to say the value of a man changes based on what he experiences, what he sees, what he thinks, and the men he meets. I wasn't going to be the boy you knew forever, Nishan. Crying and complaining won't change a thing. To change the world, you have to start off by changing yourself. Yuji knew this, and he knew that, for all his talk, he hadn't really changed on a fundamental level. Over the years, he'd slowly learned to do things he couldn't before, but he was still blundering awkwardly through life, and he was still a coward at heart. What he needed now was the courage to take a step forward. I'll do what I can for as long as I can. And I think our time is up. But just as he reached this decision, the sound of a buzzer filled the air, the door began to unlock itself, and Adam's voice flowed through the speakers in the ceiling. Ah, god damn it. I really need to stop doing that. Guess I need to be going. I hope so. Bye, Nishan. That was interesting. Alright, we will end it here. And I do have something to say. So, if you guys didn't know, we're on another chapter as the day flows by. If you guys did not know, actually, hold up. 9% done. We are getting nowhere. If you guys didn't know, I already watched the anime. This was sometime, I think almost 2 years ago. It was whenever I had that issue with my YouTube channel being wrongly terminated, and I felt like, oh, well, if I'm not going to be able to record the rest of the Fruit of Grisaia, I guess I'll watch it. And I really liked it, so I watched the rest of it. I watched the Labyrinth of Grisaia and the Eden of Grisaia on good old Crunchyroll. And yeah, I was spoiled about this. I kind of thought that the professor in the basement would be someone else. I thought like, oh, they might be doing something a little different. But no, it's exactly as I thought, and I was unfortunately spoiled 2 years ago. But I don't know, I mean, I think the normal, you know, clueless viewer coming into this, or reader I should say, coming into this, never watched the anime and is reading this for the first time, they will be absolutely surprised, and they'll be upset because none of this shit makes any sense. You can't put your brain into a machine and create a supercomputer that manages all this shit. But I think I said in the last episode that anything this game throws at me, I will just accept. But whatever. I mean, it sucks that I was spoiled, but I don't know. I think it's cool seeing it, how it's coming in the light of this visual novel. And I should say another thing, just so you guys are aware. I don't remember every single detail from the anime, especially the Fruit of Grisaia. So as I experience and go through all this, actually, you know what? Equal. I don't really remember anything from any of the three. As I experience this, keep in mind, I really don't know what's coming up. Eden was very confusing for me, so whatever happens next is a complete mystery to me. I just remember those sharp details, with Kazuki especially. So, it sucks that I was spoiled, but it is what it is. But thank you very much for watching this episode. I hope to get better by the next time that I record. I feel like I already said that. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like and subscribe so you're able to stay tuned. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy, and don't get sick like me.